Today's video, we will go through the events of 2015's horror comedy, The Final Girls. Spoilers ahead, you have been warned. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up, comment on what your favorite part was, and subscribe to our channel for more. At the beginning of the movie, we see a teenage girl, Max, waiting for her actress mother, Amanda, in a car. While waiting, she sips on coffee and picks one of her mother's actress portfolios lying on the car's floor. Amanda finally comes back from the audition. Max asks her how it went. Amanda tells her that the director recognized her as Nancy from the 1986 film Camp Bloodbath. Camp Bloodbath is Amanda's most famous film. She is frequently recognized for that movie, but her career did not go well after Camp Bloodbath. As the duo drives home, they start to dance to a song on the radio. While dancing, Max accidentally drops her coffee on Amanda's portfolio. This distracts Amanda and the car swerves. They get into a fatal accident where Amanda loses her life. Thankfully, Max survives. It is now 3 years later. Max has still not been able to get over her mother's death. It is the 3rd anniversary of Amanda's death. Max does her morning routine as usual that day. However, it is evident from her face that she is sad as she watches an old video of her and Amanda. Max's best friend is Gertie. In hopes of cheering Max up, she picks her up to go out. They go to a diner and meet one of their friends, Chris. Gertie wants Chris and Max to be together. Chris's ex-girlfriend is also Max's former best friend, Vicky. They have recently broken up, but Vicky still likes Chris. However, Chris seems to like Max. The group is there to study. Sometime later, Gertie's stepbrother and horror film fanatic Duncan arrives there. He informs them of a special double feature showing of Camp Bloodbath happening in the town. Since Max is the daughter of one of the characters, he wants her to attend it. Max doesn't want to go, but Duncan somehow persuades her. The whole group goes to the theater that night. Vicky comes there with her new boyfriend in an attempt to make Chris jealous, but she abandons him midway. They sit in the very first row and start watching the movie. After some time, someone drops a bottle of alcohol on the ground and someone else drops a cigarette on it. This starts a blaze that soon starts to take over the theater. Moreover, all the entrances are closed. Suddenly, Max finds a machete on the floor. She then cuts a hole in the screen. The group steps out of it. However, as they step out, they find themselves in the woods. It is as if they have teleported through the screen. There is no way for them to go back. As they try to comprehend what is happening, a bright yellow van stops in front of them. The group is stunned to see that this is the van from the movie they were just watching. The characters from the movie are inside too. One of them, named Tina, asks the group for directions to the camp, but they are in shock and cannot speak, so the van leaves. The group cannot believe what just happened. They think they might be having a psychotic episode or hallucinating. They also discuss the possibility of this being a collective dream, but all this feels too real to be a dream. As they sit there in dismay, the yellow van arrives again. Tina asks them the same question again. This time, Chris tells them to go straight. The group is left stunned again. They have no idea what to do. After the van leaves, Duncan sets a timer on his watch. He seems to have realized something. They try to use their phone but do not get any reception. The van arrives for the 3rd time now. Duncan looks at his watch. It is precisely 92 minutes later. Tina asks them for directions for the 3rd time. However, instead of giving them directions, Duncan tells them that they are counselors too. He then asks for a ride to the camp. The group settles in the van and drives to the base. Duncan realized that when they walked through the screen, they entered the movie, but they do not know how to get out of it, so with no other way out, they drive to the camp with the characters. Max's mother, Amanda, plays the character of Nancy in the movie. Max sees her in the van. She is stunned and cannot help but tear up. They finally reach the camp. Duncan suggests that they might be stuck here for the rest of their lives. Vicky wants to take the van and run away. Kurt has the keys. He is the typical douchebag male character of the movie. The group asks him for the keys to the car, but he throws it into the woods. They curse Kurt and go to the woods to search for it. While the group is distressed, Max has found the golden opportunity to reunite with her dead mother. She talks to Nancy for a while. She knows that Nancy is one of the first characters to die in the movie. The plot of the movie Camp Bloodbath is that everyone who has sex in the film is killed by a maniac serial killer, Billy Murphy. So Max orders Nancy always to keep her clothes on. As the group searches for the keys, they see a girl coming towards them. In the movie, she is killed by Billy Murphy while seducing a stranger. The group hides and watches as the scene goes on. Eventually, Billy Murphy kills the girl and the stranger like he does in the movie. Billy notices the group hiding, but he doesn't try to attack them. This leads Duncan to believe that he can only kill the original characters from the movie, but as he tries to take a selfie with the killer, he stabs him with his machete, killing him. The rest of the group runs away. They try running out of the camp but are brought back somehow. They are stuck in a loop. With no way out, everyone goes inside the camp house and sits in a circle. The original characters of the movie sing happily while the others sit there distressed. Finally, the protagonist of the movie, Paula, arrives at the camp. She is the only survivor of the film, the one who kills Billy at the end. The group decides to stick with Paula to stay safe, or they can end up like Duncan too. Then they choose to stick with the original character of the movie to save them from Billy. Each of them sticks with one of the characters. Vicky gets Paula and Tina, Gertie with Blake, Chris with Kurt, and Max with her mom, Nancy. They stick to their assigned characters, trying to chat with them. That night is the night Nancy and Kurt have sex and get killed in the movie. So as Nancy gets ready, Max comes into the room to stop her. She tries to explain to Nancy what will happen if she sleeps with Kurt, but Nancy doesn't understand. Just then Kurt comes into the room. Chris too comes behind him. Gertie is downstairs. She knows that Billy will come inside the camp tonight and is terrified of coming across him. Suddenly, Billy appears outside the window. Gertie screams. Everyone rushes to where she is. She tells them about Billy Murphy. However, the characters think that he is just a made-up story. Nancy then begins telling the story of Billy Murphy. The screen goes black and white. The group has been transferred into the flashback. It is now 1957. Billy Murphy is a teenager. His camp friends bully him a lot. Unable to handle the bullying anymore, Billy locks himself in the outhouse, but the camp counselors hated him as well. They lit a firework and put it inside the house, locking him in from the outside. This gives Billy a third-degree burn all over his body. His face is wholly burnt too. After being discharged from the hospital, he makes himself a mask and promises to kill every counselor in the camp. He kills the counselor that did him wrong, and the blood splatters onto Gertie's face. As Nancy completes telling the story, the flashback ends. The characters see the blood on Gertie's face and are terrified. Paula and Kurt get in the car and try to drive away, but suddenly Duncan runs out of the woods in front of it. As he screams he is alive, he is hit by the car and dies. The accident causes the car to stop. Kurt flies out of it and dies, while the car explodes and Paula dies too. Paula was supposed to kill Billy at the end. Now without her, the group needs another final girl. They explain to the characters that they are in a movie. Since only a virgin person can kill Billy, Nancy and Max are nominated as the final girls. Nancy confidently offers to be the final girl, but Vicky insults her, saying that she is the shy girl of the movie and her only role is to die. Upset, Nancy runs away from there. Max goes to her and reassures Nancy. Then, the group plans to kill Billy at a slumber party. They dress Tina in a life jacket and mittens to prevent her from undressing and attracting Billy, but she takes several of Vicky's Adderall and begins acting crazy, but still insists that she can do her job. They plan to lure Billy into the house by making Tina perform a striptease. Before they execute the plan, Nancy gives her a bracelet as a souvenir. Max convinces Nancy to come with her when she gets out of the movie. She wants her mother back in real life. Nancy agrees. It is finally the time to execute the plan. Tina starts taking off her clothes. The others wait patiently for Billy to arrive. As Tina shows her breasts, Billy appears in front of her. She gets scared and into the trap set for Billy. However, Billy is successfully hit by the second trap. He is jammed into the horn set up in the door. Blake comes in front of Billy thinking he is dead, but it turns out he is still alive and kills Blake. After all their traps fail, the group runs upstairs, but Billy comes after them. Vicky and Gertie get stuck under a cupboard. Billy kills both of them. Max, Chris, and Nancy jump out of the window. The house explodes, but Billy comes out before he is caught in the flames. He chases them again. They fall into a puddle, but before he can kill them, Nancy starts reciting Billy's story. This takes them to his flashback and they are saved. But Billy too is in the flashback. Nancy manages to get his machete. They see Billy's sad story all over again, but they also notice his secret hideout. Then they come back to current times. They are back in the puddle. Billy stabs Blake and kidnaps Nancy. Max somehow brings Blake to a nearby chapel and runs to Billy's hideout. Max is determined to save her mother this time. In his hideout, she finds Nancy tied to a chair in the corner. Max tries to untie her hands, but Billy appears before she can. Max attacks him with the machete, but Billy throws it out of her hand. He then stabs Max when Nancy hits him with the machete that has fallen from Max's hands. The girls then go back to the chapel to Chris. Billy is outside the chapel. He is still not dead. Nancy says her farewells to Max and goes out to sacrifice herself to protect Max and Chris. Max finally tells Nancy about her being Max's mother. She doesn't want to let Nancy go but has no other choice. After a tearful goodbye, Nancy goes outside and starts to take off her clothes. Billy arrives and kills her. Max is now furious. With much determination, she goes out to fight Billy. After a fight, she finally manages to cut his head off. The movie credits are displayed in the sky as Max and Chris kiss. Then suddenly they are sucked into the movie again. After a while, Max regains her consciousness. She sees Chris lying beside her in a hospital bed. All of her friends are there too. The movie ends as the group hears the doctors talk and realizes that they are in the sequel of the movie Camp Bloodbath. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and comment on the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to the channel to see more of these movie summaries.